Hello, it's friezenfan here with another part 2 of this house build. I was gonna say another house build, but it's just part 2. We are gonna finish this RV in a sec. I'm not really in a second because it's gonna take some time. But yeah, this RV is called Unbelievable. That's what it's called. Uh, for reasons. I think I've talked about it a tiny bit in the first part. The first part was not really that long. So I maybe can elaborate on it a tiny bit more, just a tad. This RV is something I imagined you could build if you had a family of 9 kids and you really want to live in an RV, something like this. This might suit them, but of course, that family being the norms, this is unbelievable, and it could never happen. Nah, not for them. Nope. But yeah, that's why it's called Unbelievable, and it had to start with the U. Because then at least everybody has their own room and some space to themselves. And I think that is always something you should strive for. And there's a reason why I never use move objects while I build, because it always does stuff like that. And then I forget to take it off, and then things start happening. But yeah, that's why we're building this. We are gonna finish it off. This is gonna be a longer part for some strange reason. I had files mixed up, so I had to resort to this option where I had to resort to this option where the first video was shorter and this one is gonna be the long one. But I hope you still enjoy watching it. As I said, this is all pretend. I didn't say that before, but this is all pretend. I made this all up. This is this is not a real RV. This is all just in my head. But I like playing around with these ideas, and there is this YouTube channel of this guy Miles that reviews RVs, and I think that also sparked some inspiration. I think in the future I'm gonna upload another build that kind of looks like an RV. It's inspired by one of those I saw on that channel. Maybe also this year I heard a lot about lofts. And of course I can't change really the wall height in The Sims. You can change the wall height, but it's not something I'm gonna do, because I already think I'm messing around too much with stuff with using these move objects on cheats. So we're not going to do that. What I am going to do is finish this build, of course, and try to think of something else to talk to. This is all quite green. We're currently figuring out a window, because I would like a window behind this bed, but because there are also shelves, it's gonna be limited on the type of windows we can use. And I don't really like these windows, but they fit this option very, very nicely. And they can at least open. I think that's also something that you want in an RV, that you can open the windows of this tea still spot. And yeah, very green. Green is not my color, says the girl that's wearing green today. It's bluish green, green teal-esque color. Green is not really something, this green at least. If it's a minty green, then maybe. Or this teal color also. It's just green. Or it has to be one of the jewel tone greens. Then yes. Then it's a yes. I also decided on putting in 2 bathrooms, because I think if you have a family of 11 people, you want 2 full bathrooms. And I wonder if I had a family of 9 and there was this house and there is this 1 bedroom that's a master suite, but it's also the biggest ones. Would I then give that bedroom to one of my kids? Or would I not? Because I think in the master bedroom is usually the biggest, but it also sounds pretty self-centered to make that your room. If you have a large family, then I would potentially maybe even sleep on the couch and give my kids the room, because I think they might deserve a space. But then again, also, if you can't afford a big house for your kids, then I would potentially would not have that many kids. I'm really good with words, people, we can tell. It's all flowing out. Wish it was. Isn't that just me? Would that not be smart if you know you can't provide for a large sum of people? Would you then still have that large sum of people? I would think not. Yeah, in this case, the Norbs are part of the LDS church. They are being forced to have these kids, because this church want as many members as they can. So, but then still, shouldn't it always be your own choice? Shouldn't it? And who says the only choice, the only purpose a woman has is to have kids? Who says that? Not me. I have so many opinions. Everybody has opinions, but that does not make them true. There you have it. If you know which musical that's from, let me know in the comments, because I could use some friends to talk about musicals that. I could use some friends. I could always use some friends, to be honest. I also been watching this TV show called Under the Banner of Heaven. It's about the LDS Church, about this family, this guy in this very typical Mormon family with a large sum of kids. And one of these kids finds the teachings that they used to have back in the day about polyamory, and he decides, well, that must be the true the true church teachings and we must obey by them. It's all messed up, and then eventually people get killed. Yeah. It always looks so peaceful. Mormon family always looks so peaceful, but then if you look closely and you pay good attention, you will see it's not that peaceful or that perfect as it may seem. And this TV show really shows that. It's with the same guy that did Tick Tick Boom. I'm gonna get his name wrong, but I think his name is Andrew Garfield. And he looks the part. Yeah, he does. But you can now, should I talk about that more? I could, but there's not a lot to say about it. But you can see me decorating one of the kids' rooms right now. I should have toggled the grid off. Should have done that. Apparently it's weird to put couches in kids' rooms. I would love to have had a couch in my kids' room. Or at least a nice cozy chair. I always been a big reader. I think I can talk about this for a while. I back in the day used to always read, and now I think since was that before, after the pandemic, during the pandemic, somewhere in the last couple of years, I decided I must read a chapter a day of a book. And I have been doing that. That helps me relax and stop thinking about things and just enjoy the book that I'm reading. And I like that. It's nice. And I think that for the most times I don't forget it, and I generally like it to read. I always had, as I just said, since I was a little girl, I think, since I can read. I'm not a fast reader, and I am not great at reading to people. If you want somebody to read your book, don't ask me, because it'd be boring. And I can't do voices, different kinds of voices, can't do that. Even if I wanted to. I remember vividly one time that we have gone on holidays with my whole family, with my aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews. And I remember vividly one time we were somewhere up north in the Netherlands, and my oldest second cousin, she asked me if I could read to her before she went to bed. I said, yeah, I can give it a go, but I'm not good at it. You will never guess what she said to me after I was struggling through 2 pages of Harry Potter. She said, I think I'm gonna read myself. And I could have told her that to the start, that I was not good at it, and I really meant that I was not good at it. But that has not stopped me from enjoying reading. And sometimes I try to read out loud, but that's always to myself, and then you at least get the chance to read the whole page before you say it, or at least a sentence. I think that's the issue, maybe. I really remember that moment vividly. She said, well, I think I'm gonna read to myself. I wonder if she still recalls that moment happening. And I'm not quite sure. Had I read Harry Potter before that moment or not? I can't really say or tell you if I did or I didn't. That was a funny moment. Speaking about those family vacations, I recently, last week, got an inkling. I have built a couple of those. I have built a couple of houses that could suit my whole family, and last week I got an inkling to build one more. So I did that, and it's almost finished, which is pretty remarkable because I think it has 16 bedrooms. So that's is something that's gonna come up later. I have to finish it once more. Once I have to finish it, which will mean one more time recording it. But I think that also sparked the memory of that time that my niece asked me to read to her before she went to bed. I think that sparked that memory. Yeah, I think so. There were a lot of great moments during those family trips. That same trip, we expected that we were going to so we expected it to be one home, one house that we were staying in. But that ended up not being like that. We got there and it was 2 separate houses with no, it was actually, there were 3 separate houses. I think it was like that, but we had somehow rented them all, although we expected to have only rented one, just one big house, as we had done previous years. I'm really good with words. We cannot tell I'm really good with words. But then when we got there, it wasn't like that. And the one of the houses we had stored all the food in. So that morning we woke up, and I always wake up early. Have done my whole life. So I wake up early there, and I think, well, then I would like to start my breakfast like that. So I got up to walk to the next house, and we got there, and the door was locked. Yeah, my grandma was a funny one. She thought, well, I could lock the door. That might be safer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then we were locked out, and for some strange reason the Wi-Fi didn't work there. So that was also great. So we couldn't message anybody in that house if they could open the door. We had to wait for, it felt like hours. Potentially only was 30 minutes or something for somebody to wake up and open the door, to unlock the door. Yeah. But as I said, I recently built one of those houses with, the list is next to me, 16 bedrooms. Because my grandma passed away about 5 years ago. 5 year ago, really 5 years ago. And we haven't gone on one of those family trips since then. But even though we lost my grandma, we have gained a lot of kids since that moment. So where we back then could have fitted into 11 bedrooms, we now need a little bit more, and then nobody wants to share a room with anybody else. So that also doesn't help. But yeah, that house isn't gonna be up for a while, because I just checked before recording this voiceover. I have some video from some house builds that have to go up first, but I will say it will be coming out soonish. Yeah, it will be coming out soonish. And I'm excited for it. It looks nice. And it's something different. Although this RV is also something different than a normal house. Which is also good. It's good to build out of your comfort zone. We can all build a blue suburban, but sometimes building something different is also useful. And in my eyes, still till this moment in time, I would think it's beneficial for a child's development to have their own room, that they have their own space where they can close the door if they want to, and nobody's gonna bother them. I think that's good for a child's development. And in that case, we're building this because the Norps don't value that privacy aspect as much as I do. And yeah, this might look a bit odd, this top floor, but I imagined it to be sloped down, so the room has like a bit more room. And I decided to build it out like this to make it look like that. Because I think that might look cool and might be nice to have a tiny bit more space when you already have to live with your family in an RV. I think the little bit extra space is gonna go a long way in that case. But yeah, as I said in the first part, I put the screenshots at the end. In case you want to build it as well. There is a picture of the floor plan. And with that being said, I think I'm gonna sign off right now. If you enjoyed watching this, thumbs this video up, subscribe to my channel so you see the next part, the next house build in 2 weeks time, so on the first day. My name is friezenfan. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.